Hello everybody, Season 13 has started in Diablo 3, which means I'm here to show you guys how to get all of the awesome rewards such as the portrait frame and the pet and the stash tab, the usual stuff that we do every season. Now, this season comes with something special, which is the final portrait frame. You see this one here is kind of the default one you get. We'll go through what they all look like. The final one has like an additional part to it, which is a little bit more incentivized to get the final one as opposed to just getting whichever one that you want. But let's start with the basics of how to complete your seasonal journey this season. It's as easy as it's ever been. In fact, I think this season is technically easier than last season, which was easier than the one before. So it just kind of keeps getting easier and easier. And that is down to the fact that each of the classes are very, very powerful. So it doesn't matter what class you start with, they're all good. That said, if you haven't started your season yet and you plan on jumping in and getting it done, make sure you do not just jump in and start playing. Jump in, make your seasonal character, so you'll kind of, get your character going. You can either rebirth a new character or, make a new character. But once you have your character, jump into the game and then immediately log out. So you'll have your level 1 seasonal character. Come over here to game settings and then run a challenge rift. So complete the challenge rift. It'll get you a bounty cache kind of thing, which has a ton of the bounty materials in it, which are the things that you'll need in order to put things in your cube. It'll give you a lot of gold to start out with. It'll give you 10 Death's Breath and 475 blood shards. So it gets you started the right way on your season if you haven't done it already, if you haven't started already. I mean, you can go do it regardless, even if you have started. Make sure you get these things done because they do give you a lot of crafting materials that you wouldn't have otherwise, and it's a good way to start your season. But make sure you make your character first, log in, and log back out. It guarantees that cache that you'll get will be available in the bottom left of your screen when you log in once you've completed the challenge rift successfully. That said, if you do that, there is another little tip, which is upgrade your blacksmith all the way right off the bat. You'll have the gold and the Death's Breath in order to do that. And then once you hit level 40, craft a level 70 weapon, and the secondary effects on it, you're trying to look for level requirement reduction, and just, essentially get whichever weapon that you can with level requirement reduction on it. If it has a CC, like a chance to disorient or chance to blind or chance to stun, you want that on the weapon, because if you roll the other secondary attribute to level requirement reduction, it'll be a lot easier because you're not having to roll through like 20 of those stupid CCs that are available as rolls. So if it already has it on the weapon, you're good. With that said, once you get into your seasonal journey, it's the same all the way through as it normally is to get to chapter 4. Things like getting to level 70, finish a level 70 Nephilim Rift, and just kind of doing all of this stuff. Each of your chapters, your second chapter is the one that's going to get you your first 2 pieces of your set bonus. So, like for instance, this set for this season for the monk is the OSWguild set, which is really, really good. It's actually turned out to be extraordinarily good for a starter set. But then you have to do like equip one of your followers fully, raise the blacksmith, jeweler, and mystic to level 12, which you can do right off the bat if you do the challenge rift. Reach level 70, kill Rakanoth, kill Skeleton King. Both of those are on hard, which you can do just by doing bounties or whatever. Craft a level 70 ring or amulet, transmogrify an item, just replace properties. It's really easy to get your first 2 pieces. It's not going to take you very long. Once you get those first 2 pieces, the second 2 pieces, which are going to be your feet and your shoulders, typically, depending on your set, are going to take you a little longer to do. You have to kill Adria and Siegebreaker both on Master, which isn't that difficult. You have to complete all of the bounties, which that is going to be the lengthy part. You could do that while leveling, obviously, if that's what you want to do. I would suggest hanging on to a full set of done bounties for when you hit 70, because once you do that, so say you started at level 40, you started doing all of your bounties, and you cleared them all 5 acts done before you hit level 70, you went and did rifts until you got to level 70. Once you hit 70, you go and turn all of those bounties in. You get level 70 caches, which obviously gives you, level 70 items right off the bat, which is great. That's what you want. potentially, depending on what difficulty you're on. You may not get an item, and that's okay. But on top of that, you get the jewel crafting recipes, and this is important because of Chapter 4, you'll need those. So you complete all of the bounties, that's going to be the longest part of this. Outside of that, everything else you'll get just naturally by leveling up. Once you get the bounties done, though, you need those 5 bounties done because you need to learn 5 jewel crafting recipes, and that guarantees you 5 jewel crafting recipes if you turn those in and you open them at level 70. It has to be turned in at level 70. The cache won't scale to your level. So just keep that in mind. That'll also give you the 5 blacksmith recipes easy, and that'll be done. And then once you do your level 70 Greater Rift 20 solo, that will pretty much be the hardest thing on this outside of doing the Key Wardens. Go kill the Key Wardens. Kill Belial, kill Gome. On Torment 2 for Belial, on Torment 4 for Gome, which you'll be able to do if you have your full piece bonus at this point. Greater Rift 20 solo. Use Kanai's Cube to upgrade a rare to legendary. That's really easy to do. That will get you all of your pieces, nice and easy. That'll get you your portrait frame and the pet. The pet is pretty cool. It is this like crazy evil bear thing, which you can see better here. I don't know. I like it. As far as all of the portraits are concerned for this season, you're looking at, where are they? You're looking at them being pretty standard. You know, you got like this stone one, then the copper one, then the gold or bronze, then the silver or platinum one, then the gold, which is really cool. But like I said, that final one is a little different. So how are we going to get to that? What is going to be the thing here? There are a few things that you'll need to do that are going to stand out as potential walls for a lot of players. But if you can get them done, then you'll get this awesome freaking portrait frame with the cool little staff and everything next to it. It is definitely, it's not just a color variation. It actually has a different part of the portrait frame, which is nothing that they've done before. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting that one, although it's bugged. We'll talk about that at the end here. So the things that you're going to need to do, make sure you get your gems up, right? Get your gems up to level 70. Get 3 gems up to level 70. That's what you're going to require for the Guardian. As far as everything else, it just goes down by 10. So it'll be 70 on Guardian, 60 for Conqueror, 50 for Destroyer, 30 for Champion, and 25 for Slayer. So 1 gem to 25 on Slayer, and then 3 for the rest. So 3 to 35, 45, 55, and 70. So get your gems up. That's going to be important. Don't get rid of your gems early. Get 3 gems to 70 as quickly as you can, and then use one of them so that way you're not wasting time to get your level 50 plus augment, which you'll need for Conqueror. And you'll need to complete Conqueror in order to get your stash tabs like usual. So everything else is just portrait frame except Conqueror. That gets you your stash tabs. Then Guardian is just like the prestige frame. So if you want your stash tabs, you'll need to use one of your gems, your 50 plus gems, for an augment. Like I said, get 3 gems to 70 and just use one of your 70 gems. It's typically the easier way to do it. There really isn't anything else that's difficult in this season, which is why I'm kind of just like glossing over all of these. It's pretty typical of the previous seasons. There are a couple things to keep in mind. There's the typical boss things, but there's also doing the Realm of Regret and the Realm of Putridness. Now you'll see that these are on Torment 1. You see, doing these, basically you kill the Key Wardens, they give you their stuff. You go to the, priest in Act 1, you break the door down in town. You go in there, you open up the keys that you have, which will open up these realms. You go and kill the Uber bosses. These ones are on Torment 1. However, make sure you don't do all of them on Torment 1 because they kind of get you on this one. On Champion, you'll need to do them on Torment 10. So you need to do two on Torment 1, which are the Regret and Putridness. And then you'll need to do the Realm of Terror and the Soul of Evil on level 10. So they do kind of switch it up on you. So don't use all your keys, otherwise you're going to have to go farm new ones. Just be aware of that. The final things that are really going to get you that aren't things that you're already doing are the kills Cydia in under 30 seconds on Torment 13. This counts the time of you starting the event, running all the way down around, and then down to her to start it, and then just blasting her with your whatever abilities you got. So it counts down that time, so use movement speed to get to her as quickly as possible to start the encounter. even if it's just one person in your party doing it. If you're running with multiple people, that way you get that. There is this one, so that's this boss kill for Conqueror. That's pretty easy to do in order to get your stash tab, but if you want Guardian, you have to kill Magda on Torment 13 in under 10 seconds. That's a little bit more difficult to do. Demon Hunters and Monks are really good at it. Crusaders can do it, but it depends on sometimes a Convention of Elements proc and stuff like that. So you just got to be careful what class you're doing. If you're having struggles with it, just get like 3 Shadow Demon Hunters to come and kill it real quick, because that's what they do, and that's their set for the season. So like every Demon Hunter has Shadow and Pale set going on. That's really it outside of the conquest, which we're going to hit up real quick. Kind of the same conquest as usual. Sprinter, complete acts 1 through 5 in under 1 hour if you wanted to do that one. I know a lot of people do enjoy that one. But there is Divinity, reach greater of 75 solo. That I didn't even realize it was a conquest until I got it, because I hadn't looked at conquest at that point. The Thrill, reach greater of 45 solo without any set items equipped. That's really easy to do, especially if you're playing a monk. Actually, most of the classes, except for maybe Witch Doctor, are going to do this very, very easily. And then Curses, which all you do for Curses is there is one Curse Chest event in Act 5. It's called the Cursed Peat. You don't necessarily have to have the bounty for it. There's a bounty, but you don't have to have the bounty for the event to spawn. Just run down there and try to find the Cursed Peat. It has to be on Torment 10, and essentially all you do is you start the event. You have to kill 350 enemies once you start the event, which is a little bit harder. Get people in on it. Try to join one of the conquests communities, which is probably the best way to find people to do this, and try to find people who are going to do a lot of AoE and clear. So monks with Sun Wuku or Demon Hunters with the Unhallowed Essence set, those are going to be your best bet for getting curses done easily. I one-shot it this season, and it was very, very easy playing the Sun Wuku monk. So that just curses and Thrill and Divinity are going to be your 3 primary ones that you do for your conquest, because those are the easiest ones. However, there is Sprinter, so you could do Sprinter if you want. Outside of that, there is the set dungeon one. It's a complete 8, master 8 of the set dungeons, which isn't that difficult, but it's just one of those things that's kind of annoying if you haven't done them before. And if you haven't done them before, you can get the rewards. You can get the awesome wings that I'm using here if you master all of the set dungeons for all of the classes, which give you those wings. Outside of that, it's just kind of cool penance that you get for each of the different classes if you master all of them, such as the Crusader one or the Monk one or the, I think that's the Demon Hunter one. They're cool. They're worth it. I like them a lot. The thing is, and this is what I was going to mention, currently the season is bugged. You see, I have 3 of my conquests done. However, if I go to my seasonal journey, it does not complete them. And it doesn't matter what 3 I complete, it's just not completing my seasonal journey. This will be fixed, so if you have completed everything up until this point and it's still not working, they're working on a fix for it. Don't worry about it. It's just bugged at the moment. But that's everything you need to do in order to get this freaking awesome portrait frame with the cool staff edition, which was going to stand out compared to everybody else's portrait frame if you can get this. But if you just wanted the stash tabs and you don't already have them maxed out, you need to do Conqueror, which everybody should be able to do that fairly easily. Outside of that, if you just want to complete the first part to get the portrait frame and the pet and all that, it's not going to take you very long, maybe a few hours at the least, unless you're being power leveled, then maybe a couple hours. So it's pretty easy to get your stuff done this season. I would suggest it because I do like the portrait frame, but I like the Guardian portrait frame a lot. I just wish it wasn't bugged at the moment. Other than that, pretty easy season, pretty simple season. It's just kind of a carryover from season 12 as far as like balance and stuff goes. So we'll kind of see what they do for season 14 as far as rewards and balance and changes, if they do anything at all. Most of us are looking forward to the announcement of whatever this next Diablo game they're working on is. But with all of that being said, have you finished your seasonal journey? Do you plan on doing it? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you have any tips on what you can do to improve upon this process. If you have anything that you want to share with other people that helped you out, that maybe someone hasn't really thought of, especially me, because I can only provide so many tips. I don't have all of the tips, and I like to learn what you guys like to optimize on. But with all that, we shall see you guys next time.